The city knew her name, Adanna Obianuju, the daughter of Nigeria's ironworld billionaire, Chief Obianuju. Men bowed in her father's presence, politicians dined in their mansion, and every suitor who came to her door brought diamonds instead of flowers. But Adanna was tired of fake smiles, tired of rich men who saw her as another trophy. She wanted something real, a man who could love her when there were no cars, no gold, no money. So one dawn, she wrapped herself in a faded Ankara skirt, smeared dust on her cheek, and disappeared into a small forgotten village where no one knew her name. That day, the daughter of a billionaire became just another village girl. The sun bled orange across the sky as Adanna trudged barefoot along the narrow dirt road leading into Umuaka village. The scent of wood smoke curled from clay huts, and goats bleated lazily by the roadside. She carried only a raffia bag with a few clothes, her phone switched off. For the first time in her life, nobody whispered that's Chief's daughter. At the stream, village girls giggled as they balanced clay pots on their heads. One of them, a lively girl with quick laughter, eyed Adanna curiously. "You're new here. Where are you from?" Adanna lowered her gaze, playing her role carefully. "From the next town. My parents died. I came here to start again." The girl's expression softened instantly. "Oh, sorry, oh. My name is Chioma. Don't worry, you'll be fine here. We are simple people, but we take care of our own." And just like that, Adanna was adopted into the rhythm of village life. That night, under a roof of rusty zinc, she lay on a bamboo mat. No marble floors, no air conditioning, just the chorus of crickets. And yet, her heart felt lighter than it had in years, but the test of her disguise was only just beginning. The next morning, she joined Chioma at the stream again. Buckets splashed, laughter echoed, and then she saw him. Obi, tall, broad-shouldered, his skin glistening with sweat as he carried a bundle of firewood. He wasn't rich, his slippers were worn thin, his shirt patched at the shoulder, but there was a steadiness in his eyes, a quiet strength that made Adanna's stomach flutter. "Chioma, who is that?" she whispered. Chioma grinned. "Oh, that's Obi, the farmer's son. Every girl here has tried to catch him, but his heart is stubborn like a goat. He only cares about his cassava farm and his mother." Obi caught her staring. For a moment, his gaze locked with hers. Not with the arrogance of city boys who thought money could buy affection, but with a curious, guarded intensity. "New girl," he said flatly. "You'll find this village hard. City hands don't know how to fetch water." Adanna bristled. "Then teach me," she snapped. Chioma gasped, then burst into laughter. "Aya, she has fire." Obi smirked, shaking his head as he walked away, the muscles in his arms flexing under the sun. That night, Adanna couldn't stop thinking about him. For the first time in her life, a man wasn't bending over backwards to impress her. He wasn't dazzled by her beauty, in fact, he barely tolerated her. And that intrigued her more than any diamond ring ever had, but winning Obi's heart would mean proving she could survive as a true village girl. The next few days tested her limits. She fetched water until her shoulders ached, pounded yam with blistered palms, stumbled in the fields with Chioma as they harvested cassava. The village women laughed kindly at her clumsiness, but slowly, her body hardened. Her nails broke, her skin darkened under the sun, her laughter grew freer, and Obi noticed. One evening at the farm, when she stubbornly carried a heavy basket despite her trembling arms, Obi walked over, silently took half the load, and muttered, "You're not as useless as I thought." It was the closest thing to praise she had ever heard from him, and it lit a strange warmth inside her. Still, she wasn't the only one drawn to Obi. Janet, the proud daughter of the village chief, had her eyes fixed on him too. And when she saw the way Obi glanced, even briefly, at Adanna, jealousy began to boil. Janet wasn't about to let a stranger steal what she believed was hers. The tension grew like a storm cloud. Janet, with her finely plaited hair and silk wrappers her father's money bought, began to spread whispers. "That new girl, nobody knows where she came from. She claims her parents are dead, but who can prove? Maybe she's a thief, hiding from the law. Her words slipped like poison into the ears of the villagers. Adanna noticed the glances. The hesitation when women handed her a calabash. The suspicious whispers at the stream, but it was Obi's doubt that cut the deepest. One evening, as the sun bled across the farmlands, he asked bluntly, "Who are you, really?" "Your hands." "Yes, they blister, but there's softness under them." "Your accent slips sometimes." "You don't belong here." Adanna's heart pounded. She wanted to tell him the truth, to cry out, "I'm not a liar. I just wanted to be loved for myself, not for my father's money." But fear sealed her lips. If Obi found out, would he ever forgive her? Instead, she lowered her eyes. "I told you. I came to start over." Obi studied her, the weight of his gaze almost unbearable, then turned away with a sigh. Secrets don't last forever in this village. That night, alone in her hut, Adanna wept into her pillow. She had traded marble floors for mud walls, yet the ache of loneliness followed her still. Janet's jealousy soon boiled into action. One market day, she cornered Obi, her voice dripping with sweetness. "Why waste your time with that stranger? She is nothing. I am the chief's daughter. I can give you land, livestock, everything you need." Obi's reply was firm. "I don't want land. I don't want livestock. I want peace." His refusal stung Janet like a slap. That evening, when Adanna carried firewood through the market square, Janet made her move. She shouted loud enough for the crowd to hear, "This girl is a fraud. Do you know who she really is? Ask her where she came from. Ask her what she hides." All eyes turned. Adanna froze, her breath caught in her throat. Chioma rushed to her side, fierce as a lioness. "Janet, leave her alone. What has she done to you?" But the crowd murmured. Suspicion burned hotter. Obi stepped forward. His jaw was tight, his eyes unreadable. "Adanna, enough. Tell us the truth. Who are you?" Her chest clenched. In that moment, the weight of her disguise felt heavier than any basket she had carried. She opened her mouth. But the words tangled, she couldn't confess. "Not yet." Obi's face hardened. "Then I can't trust you." He turned and walked away, leaving her trembling in the dust as the villagers' stares pierced her. That night, Adanna sat by the stream, her reflection rippling in the moonlit water. She had come seeking love, but now she risked losing the one man who might have given it freely. And worse, Janet was determined to destroy her. The rains came early that year. Heavy sheets of water battered the village, turning paths to rivers and roofs to drums. On one terrible night, lightning struck the old granary and set it ablaze. Villagers rushed with buckets, forming frantic chains from the stream to the flames. Adanna didn't hesitate. She threw herself into the chaos, her wrapper soaked, her palms raw from hauling water. When a roof beam cracked and fell, trapping a little boy inside, screams rose in the storm. Nobody dared step forward. The fire roared too fiercely. But Adanna ran. She ripped off her shawl, covered her head, and dashed into the smoke. Minutes dragged like hours until she stumbled back out, coughing, cradling the boy against her chest. His small arms clung to her neck, his sobs muffled in her shoulder. The villagers gasped. Even Janet's tongue froze. Later, as the fire died and the crowd gathered in the rain, Obi stepped forward. His face, shadowed by torchlight, was filled with something deeper than admiration. "You risked your life," he whispered. Adanna trembled, her hair plastered to her face. She could no longer bear the mask. Tears spilled as she sank to her knees. "I must tell you the truth. I am not who you think I am. My name is Adanna Okafor. My father is Chief Okafor, a billionaire in Lagos. I disguised myself because I wanted love, not wealth. I am sorry. I should have told you from the start." The crowd erupted. Murmurs, disbelief, outrage. Janet sneered. "I told you. He's a liar. She came to mock us." But Chioma stepped forward, lifting her chin proudly. "Lies or not, tonight she saved a child when the rest of us froze. Does that sound like mockery to you?" The villagers fell silent. Their anger wavered, caught between betrayal and gratitude. Obi stood still for a long time, the rain washing over him. Then, slowly, he approached. His voice was quiet, but it carried, "You deceived us. You deceived me. But your courage tonight was real. Your tears are real. I asked for truth, and now you've given it." Adanna's breath hitched. "Can you ever forgive me?" His eyes softened. "I don't want your father's money. I don't want your city life. I want the woman who ran into fire to save a child. If that is who you truly are, then yes. I forgive you." A murmur of approval rippled through the crowd. Janet's face twisted, but her protest died on her lips. The village had already chosen its side. Weeks later, the village square buzzed with celebration. Drummers pounded, women ululated, children darted between dancers. Under the great Iroko tree, Obi took Adanna's hand. "You came here to find a husband," he teased gently, "and instead you found a family." Adanna smiled, her eyes shining. "And love is worth more than all my father's riches." In that moment, she understood, wealth can buy respect, but only truth and courage win hearts, and so the billionaire's daughter who once hid in plain sight became the woman the village called their own, not because of the fortune in her blood, but because of the fire in her soul. Months passed. Life in the village returned to rhythm, but Adanna's story was now part of its heartbeat. Farmers greeted her warmly at the market, mothers smiled when she helped their children fetch water, and even elders nodded with respect when she passed. But not everyone was content. Word of her true identity eventually reached Lagos. Chief Okafor, furious that his only daughter had vanished, sent men to bring her home. One morning, a convoy of black SUVs rode into the village, their engines rumbling like thunder. Dust rose, goats scattered, and villagers peeked nervously from their huts. Out stepped the chief himself, tall, proud, his agbada sweeping the earth like a storm cloud. "Adanna." His voice boomed across the square. "Is this where you've been hiding? In mud and smoke, while I scoured the world for you?" Adanna's heart clenched. She had longed for this moment, yet dreaded it. She stepped forward, her wrapper plain. Her feet dusty, but her gaze steady. "Father," she said quietly, "I was not hiding. I was living." Chief Okafor's nostrils flared. "Living? With peasants? With this fisherman boy?" His glare fell on Obi, whose fist tightened at his sides. The villagers bristled, offended by his contempt, but Obi raised a calming hand. "With respect, Chief," he said steadily, "your daughter is not a child. She has chosen her path." The chief's eyes narrowed. "And what if I forbid it?" Adanna took a step closer. Her voice no longer trembled. "Then I will defy you. Because I came here seeking love, and I found it. Not the love of money or status, the love of truth, sacrifice, and courage. If you cannot see that, then you do not see me at all." The silence that followed was thick enough to choke. Villagers held their breath. Even the birds seemed to hush. Then, slowly, the chief's expression cracked. Not with anger, but with something softer, hidden deep. "Pride, you speak like your mother," he muttered, almost to himself. His shoulders sagged. "She, too, would not be bent by my will." He looked at Obi, studied him long and hard, then finally extended a hand. "You saved my daughter once, I hear. Can you protect her always?" Obi clasped his hand firmly. "With my life." And just like that, the storm broke. Weeks later, The village witnessed a wedding unlike any before. Drums thundered, dancers spun in brilliant cloth, and palm wine flowed freely. Adanna wore a gown woven from both city silk and village cotton, a symbol of two worlds joined. Obi stood tall beside her, his pride not in riches, but in the woman who chose him freely. Chief Okofor, seated in the place of honor, watched with misty eyes as his daughter laughed among the people he once scorned. For the first time, he understood, wealth without love is emptiness, but love without wealth is still abundance. Sometimes, to discover what truly matters, you must strip away everything you thought defined you, until only love remains.